Did I ever tell you the story about the bag? Like the truth behind why we ended up with the one that you ended up with?
The Chanel one?
Yeah.
What's the truth?
So, can you give a little bit of the backstory before we continue on why you were getting a bag? Just so chat knows.
We were having like lunch, right? And then you asked me, like, do you have a bag to put your stuff in? Like a small one that I can carry around that was nice. And I didn't. And he was like, all right, let's get you a bag. But when you said that, actually, I wasn't thinking of like Chanel, Gucci. I was thinking you'd get me like a practical bag. But then the stores that were nearby were Louis Vuitton, Gucci. And then he was like pointing at different bags. He was like, oh, do you like this one? I'm like, oh, maybe. And then we went in the Chanel one and I saw the backpack. And then I was like, oh, that one's nice. And then he said, oh, let's get you it. I was like, really? Are you sure? He's like, yeah, of course. It's no problem for me. And I thought it was just a normal thing that you did. But what's the truth?
So, to add a little bit more context to everything, so we were looking at bags, right? And none of them really worked, right? And they were like a couple $1,000s, right?
Yeah.
They weren't too expensive. But then we go into the Chanel store. And keep in mind, I had no idea how much Chanel costed because I never heard of it before. It's not something that I'm familiar with. And then when I go in there, we find this bag and it's like the perfect one, right? And then you hand it to me and you're like, oh, what about this one? I'm like, okay, this works. And then I see how much it costs. And then you're like, oh, is it too much? And I think to myself, I can't say no because I'm a punk, can't afford this bag. So I ended up buying it just because I didn't want to seem broke in front of you.
I had no idea either until the girl said how much it costs.
But do you like the bag?
I love the bag, yeah.
You think it brought us closer as friends?
Yeah, best friends.
Can you tell them how much the bag actually costs so they know, just so they stop spamming?
$14K.